Hope you've been enjoying your stay.
I just wanted...
Chuckles, you are.
What the... Oh, I heard something. Better take a gander. Gonna string you! Groups on their stuff!
I knew you'd be back. Always happy to see a new customer, or a repeat customer. Any customer. Junk. My friend, this is not junk. These are... Nice. Great. But if anyone...
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. This empty bottle of spirits does not belong to any known corporate brand. Suspicious residue detected. Excellent deduction, Inspector. Imbibing of unauthorized beverages is strictly prohibited under Rizzo's company law. Ingredients include antiseptic alcohol, sucrose, and unidentifiable miscellaneous organic material. Closest match. Counterfeit spirits available at the Piraeus Spaceport. Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Discrepancy detected. Rizzo's company policy clearly states that all proprietary mascots must exhibit signs of physical life. Excellent observation, Inspector. Have you deduced a possible cause of death? Unusually small entry wounds indicate exotic weaponry. Closest approximations are 1. Incident involving a game of darts. 2. The Needler. Yes, Inspector. The Needler. Bespoke handgun carried and wielded by Halcyon Helen. Famously deployed by Halcyon Helen in Terror on Monarch. This weapon was responsible for executing the Chief of the Savages, played by Spencer Woolridge. This unit is incapable of providing ethical advice. This unit is also incapable of answering rhetorical questions.
A sunflower around a pink river.
Inspector, good to see you. Let me just grant you access and... Welcome to the Piraeus Spaceport.
Hey, you! We've been looking for you, and by we, I mean Slug. Been real busy sniffing around Eridanos for clues, haven't you, Inspector? See, Sluglight Underground don't like that much. Should have kept your nose where it belonged, Inspector. Slug's sick of all your meddling in their affairs. Our affairs, I mean. We're... Draw, you damn breadworm, draw! You want to say that again, pal? Quick, everyone! Get him! I'm taking cover!
Hey, could I talk to you for a second?
What do you want? Shh! Not so loud! How'd you know it was me? That's what the disguise is for. I'm in no mood to sign autographs, and I hate disappointing fans. So I'm lying low. You know, incompleto. Oh, yeah, I guess it's kinda neato. Oh, what's it matter? Helen's gone. She's gone and nothing I do will bring her back. I've been trying to find who did this. That's what she would do. Track down the killer and bring them to justice. But I'm stumped. And not very clever. Being bright was always Helen's thing. Oh, so you're the inspector! Hope you have more luck figuring things out than me. You probably want to ask me some questions, huh? I'm sure you're asking everybody questions, so you can find Helen's killer. So, how do I help? I was getting blotto with the rest of the Rangers. You know, soaked, muddled, preserved, drunk. The team noticed I was in a bad way when I got back to the hotel. When I told them Helen and I were Splitsville, they wanted to cheer me up. We were up the pole afore evening. The hotel staff said we was bothering the other guests on account of all the crying and yelling and practice body tackling. Zeke said we should move elsewhere, get some air. We ended up at the Wilderness Exploitation Reserve. I think somebody wanted to pet a woolly cow? There was this one cow off away from the others. Zeke figured it'd be a laugh to get her drunk. One thing led to another, and I think we might have maybe, you know, stolen her. I don't know. We were drunk, and we made bad choices. She was all alone. I know how that feels now. It's so hard to be all by your lonesome. My memory's a little muddled after that. I guess me and the team got split up, because I know I was on my own at the pilot house for a time. I reckon not. See, I went to the weather station. I was looking for where Helen stashed her datapad for safekeeping, right? She'd asked me to get it, mind. I wasn't stealing. I'm no thief. Nah, she sent a note to my hotel room before we, you know, split. I don't know how long it was sitting there before I noticed. Sure did. Only there was a guard out there who found me. She started yelling about how I was trespassing and in serious trouble. Thing is, it was real dark out there. So dark, she couldn't tell who I was. Real sure. It was dark as night gets. Plus, I've got small veins. Anyway, I didn't much feel like trying to explain why I was out there, or why I was drunk, and holding someone else's datapad, and also maybe crying a little, so I booked it. Ran like the Rangers were down by 3, and I just bronzed the toss ball in the Friday zone. Yeah, I mean, no. Nope. No one else. I don't. All we did was talk, I swear. It's just, I don't want to tell you. I'll get in trouble. Look, I talked to Auric, okay? Auric West. Hangs out around the spaceport. He's the one who taught me the breathing exercises I use to calm down. Confidant is like confidence. What's torrid mean? Don't get the wrong idea, okay? Oryx's not a bad guy. He's just got an unusual job. So now you have the whole story. After I talked to Oryx, I went back to the hotel. Woke up the next morning with Helen's data pad in my hand and the hangover to end all hangovers. Don't know if I'll ever drink again. Oh, yeah, you'll probably want to... Yeah, of course. Of course. Helen sure did have the prettiest handwriting. Yeah. Yeah, me too. Sorry. Here you go, Inspector. Hopefully they make more sense to you. I couldn't make heads or tails of them. Either she was writing in code or I'm dumber than a bag of hammers. I tried for hours to crack her notes, but it's like I said. Being bright was Helen's thing. I know that. But you gotta believe me. I would never hurt Helen, no matter how drunk I was. You could preserve me in Spectrum Brown and I wouldn't even look at her funny. I want to help you find her killer, Inspector. I knew Helen better than anybody. And it could be handy to have a guy like me around, in case anybody gives you trouble. I get it. I'll head back to the Grand Colonial then. Unless you need me for anything else? What do you want to know? I remember sending her the recording, but... Law, I was halfway to preserved by then. I don't know what was on it. When I realized what I'd done, I panicked. If I'd said something dumb, folks might think I was involved in her death. I was scared of looking suspicious. You listened to it? What'd I say to Helen? Did I sound drunk? Thank the architect. I hope she heard it. I don't want the last time she heard my voice to be when I was all angry at the orchards. Tossball was, is, and always will be the greatest game in the universe. And I would give it up in a heartbeat to have Helen back. Yeah? Oryx hangs around the spaceport most days. Since he's not here at the bar, he's most likely over by the buy-up bunks at the shipping yard. Yeah? Oryx's a businessman. He sells stuff you can't get elsewhere. You know, alternative stuff. We're talking sort of science, crockery, whole supplements. Probably. I can never remember. I just know I trust Oryx more than I do any sawbones. Maybe putting effort accelerators in your body isn't always the right call, you know? Maybe there are other options. Maybe I don't take all the accelerators Rizzo's pushes on me. People get worked up about this kind of thing is all. Not that my personal business should be any concern of theirs. Yeah? What do you want to know? What about her? Rival actresses, maybe? I don't know too much about the motion picture industry. Except for Helen's pictures, obviously. Those I probably know by heart. Seen them about 100 times each. Look, you and me, we both know I'm a big, dumb tossball star, right? That's what I'm good at. Rizzo's knows it. The fans know it. Helen, she saw me as more than that. She saw someone who had more to offer than big muscles and a signature black hole stomp. Being with Helen was magic. She was magic. There ain't good enough words for something as special as what we had together. I wish I knew. Must have been something I did. At the picnic, Helen just kept saying she didn't want to drag me into her world. Maybe one of the higher-ups in motion pictures was giving her trouble over us? I don't know. I tried to understand, but I don't. What do you want to know?
Hey, pal. Hey there. You looking to unwind, friend? Maybe you're on your way to the bar for a good time. Maybe you're interested in something a little better than beer or Adreno? Something with a little more kick? Then maybe I'm your guy. The name's Auric. I deal in, shall we say, holistic pharmaceuticals, natural substances and the like. You know, alternative stuff. I know. Ooh, it came out of the ground. That's where worms live. I get it. I do. Why go for that homegrown shit when you could be pumping your body full of effort accelerators? Says it right on the Anti-Cleo's box. Better than nature, right? Well, I'm gonna let you in on a little secret, pal. Those pharmaceuticals the corporations manufacture, not all of them are as good for you as the board wants you to believe. Alternatives. That's the way to go, pal. Trust me. No matter what ails you, I got what you need. What do I sell? I've got premium shit, my friend. Vitamins like you wouldn't believe. Calcium, vitamin D, reverse vitamin D. I got everything, my friend. You got stress problems? I got stress solutions. Aromatherapy eases the mind. Diluted Mantisaur essence, best kept secret in the business. And if you're a real freak, techniques to calm yourself by fooling your own mind. If they can tame the rage of a certain well-known tossball star, they can help anybody. Wait, you ain't a sheriff, right? You gotta tell me if you're a sheriff. I'll be honest, I don't really know where that puts us. Can't argue with that logic. Yeah, I know, Birdie. What do you want to know? Yeah, that was me. Birdie's got a temper, but he's not a bad kid, you know? He's trying to work on it. He may or may not buy alternatives from me from time to time. A little diluted Mantisaur essence here, a little vitamin B negative there. He's stressed out of his mind, the poor guy. Everyone knows his name. Can't turn around without having to sign an autograph. Then you throw in playing tossball for a living. Violence like that, it does things to a body. It does things to the head. Come on. Birdie's a damn good hacker, but taking that many blows to the noggin would scramble anyone's upstairs business. I know it's knocked a few of his memories loose. I worry about him, that's all. He's a good kid. Got a good heart. Yeah. Damn shame about that. Birdie thought the world of Helen, you know. He showed up drunk at my place wanting to talk about the breakup. Helen dumped him, he said. Boy, was he in a bad way. I'd never seen him like that before. We talked for a while, and when he felt better, I sent him back to the hotel. Told him to drink more water and get some sleep.
Hey, you! I got something I need to speak with you.
Hello. Welcome to Eridano's Dry Goods and Sundry, the most standard and unremarkable general store this side of Halcyon. I'm Marketeer Joseph Dempsey, here to make your shopping experience as pleasant and normal as possible. Oh, I see you've read some of my poems. Very clever, Inspector. Yes, my pen name is The Marketeer, though I also use it in certain business dealings. Wait a moment. Why do you ask? Hey now, hey, let's all be reasonable here. I'm just a middleman. None of this was my idea. Occasionally, jobs requiring discretion arrive here from the hotel. Always anonymous and always lucrative. For a sizable cut, I set these jobs up and ask no questions. Somebody sent me a note telling me they wanted you dead. I don't know who, and I don't know why. I swear. Of course. Here. Terribly sorry for all this, Inspector. I'll certainly owe you in the future. Welcome back. The Eridano's Dry Goods and Sundry is just as standard and unremarkable as when you left it. Hey, folks take a lot of comfort in knowing their neighborhood general store is unchanging, eternal, like the land beneath their feet or the air in their lungs. Whoops. Forgot I ain't supposed to poeticize on work time. The drab nature of our store profits is what I meant. Now, can I sell you anything?
Hey, I saw your ship. The Unreliable, right? It's a real beauty. Hey there. Word around the spaceport is that you came in on the Unreliable. You a new crewmate? Cut the shit. I know Hawthorne's captain of that ship, and I know you ain't him. You want to try again? I see. Well, this would have been easier with Hawthorne, but I hope that if you're flying his ship, it means you're a freelancer too. Wonder if you can help me. I run an outfit for the moving of, less than legal goods. There's a particular piece of cargo needs delivering to a particular individual in the spaceport. Thing is, I don't know where the cargo is right now. The crewmate who handles that is in the clink for getting a little too disorderly in town. We've already attracted too much attention. Too risky to visit her myself. That's where you come in. You help us out, I'll give you an equal cut of our pay. Great to hear. First, you need to go meet the crewmate who got herself jailed. Cassidy Mills is the name. She'll know where the cargo is. Be seeing ya. Remember, Cassidy's at the constabulary. She might be a little wary, so be careful. Hope the job's coming along well.
Don't think I know you. What do you want? Yeah. Don't Don't think I don't recognize a slug agent when I see one. Shove off.
Hope the job's coming along well. No sign of the constable, which really makes me more nervous. Oh, I forgot to mention it. We got a secret passphrase. I like boneless spratwurst. Tell her that and she should trust you.
Oh, it's you again. Yep, that sure is the passphrase, even if it is dumb as hell. What's Dash's plan? You're looking for cargo from our ship, the Rat King. Small package, wrapped in brown paper. It got moved to the shipping yard, but I'm not completely sure where. I'm sure some slugite knows how to find it, or has it listed in a terminal. All else fails, you could just case the joint. Might end up with some extra loot for your troubles.
What do you think you're doing? Just don't let me get you again, all right?
You're back, I see. Hope the law hasn't caught on to what you're doing. Law meaning authorities, that is, not the forces running the universe. No complications? Grand. The recipient is Joseph Dempsey. He runs the Eridanos Dry Goods and Sundry. This is gonna sound a little stupid, but I got a thing about mechanicals. Don't like the way they move or the sounds they make. Gives me the creeps. I was drinking with Dash in the cantina when a funny-looking one trotted up beside us. Seemed like it was some kind of monster, so I started yelling, banging on it. Don't know what happened next, but I think it involved another mechanical. I passed right out then, and when I woke back up, I was here. Not the most graceful thing I've ever done. No complications?
Welcome back. The Eridanos Dry Goods and Sundry is just as standard and unremarkable as when you left it. A shipment, you say? The only shipment I'm expecting is 100 pounds of saltuna a week from now. And I certainly don't expect it to be brought by an inspector. Is that supposed to be some kind of code phrase? It has no nuance, no subtlety. Sticks out like a bent nail. A constable could detect that from the other side of Eridanos. I learn about secret codes in my off time, for fun. It's never anything that I actually need to use, mind. Playing dumb didn't dissuade you, huh? You're pretty sharp, and correct. Follow me to the back. All right. So, as you can see, this actually ain't the most standard and unremarkable general store this side of Halcyon. Welcome to my black market. Whatever you're here for, weapons, information, contraband, cane and ointment, I've got it. Sorry for the frosty reception. Had to make sure you weren't with the constable. But seeing how you're a freelancer, I hope I ain't got nothing to worry about. Regular wares? Sure. Currently waiting on my next black market shipment, so come back in a bit if you want to see those. Let me take that package off your hands, whatever the case. Here's your pay. Good doing business with you, especially seeing how you didn't take this to the constable. Would have been a mighty pain in my tail end. See? No. But I might tell you what's in it, so long as it's nothing proprietary, volatile, or breathing. Let's have a little look. Contraband weapon parts, a few chemicals for the crafting of high explosives. All fairly standard. Oh, and a canister of trimethyl sulfoxide. Where dimethyl sulfoxide is good at keeping folks in stasis, trimethyl sulfoxide is nice for helping refrigerators run. Useful stuff. Greetings again, my friend. Hope you've been keeping free of the yoke of the law. Within reason, that is.
Hope the job's coming along well. No sign of the constable, which really makes me more nervous. Excellent. Let's divvy up the payment 3 ways and we can consider this matter settled. Thank the law. Should be just enough to get Cass out of her damn cell. I guess breaking even is better than leaving with your partner in the clink. You might not be Hawthorne, but you can sure resolve a problem like he could. Maybe better. Thanks again for all your help.
Greetings again, my friend. Hope you've been keeping free of the... Hey, a good black market owner never reveals their secrets. All I can say is that I get regular shipments from a place that rhymes with Smallbrook. Dealing with Sublight behind Sublight's back, I'm sure there's something poetic to be said about that, but I'm on the clock. Pretty well, I'd say. Been thinking about expanding my network to include some other shop managers throughout Eridanos. But then I realized that someone could joke that we're contrabanding together. And I've decided I don't want to do it anymore. Greetings.
Greetings, non-criminally associated individual. The Rizzo's constabulary is currently not closed due to a sprat infestation. Bureaucratic processes are currently suspended. At present, criminal reports do not require paperwork. Please lament only in marked lamentation zones. Please speak clearly into this unit's recording instruments. Error. Unit designation no longer wine taster. Unit designation now deputy. While potential lethality of unit instrumentation bears towards 95% violent utilization of equipment would void unit warranty. All Rizzo's constabularies must include at least one deputy constable among the pool of available Rizzo's employee candidates. This unit was considered the most competent. Unit does not have a favorite wine. Unit is incapable of taste. How may this unit be of service to you? Checking logs. Error. Informational limitations found. 2. Reciting limitation 1. Do not tell users about constabulary's rat infestation. We do not need to pay the health inspector's bribe a third time. Limitation 2. Do not read informational limitations aloud, especially not to any of those void-damned snot-nosed guests, or I'll have you sold for parts. Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. An aberration in the expected timeline for this organic being has occurred. Behold, the body of Maria Keene, formerly the constable of the Eridanos Atmospheric Complex. No signs of life detected. Maria Keene is survived by no known relatives. Excellent observation, Inspector. Multiple wounds located in the frontal bone and between the clavicles suggest she was facing away from her attacker. Furthermore, the location and circumference of exit wounds suggest a firearm with unconventional ammunition. Yes, Inspector. These entry wounds match the profile previously detected on the Rizzo's Rangers mascot. Constable Maria Keene was likely killed by someone wielding the Needler. These casings are too minuscule for conventional small-caliber firearms. Each casing resembles a lancing needle used for medical and surgical purposes. High concentration of potassium chloride detected. Trace amounts of neurotoxin detected.
These substances show the highest concentration near the entry and exit wounds. Cardiac arrest, rather than physical trauma, is the most likely cause of death.
Greetings, criminal. This unit would implore you to confess to your crime of landing with an expired permit. Please explicate your defense into this unit's recording equipment.
My permit wasn't expired, Scrap Heap. You probably just scanned it wrong.
Error. Unit's permit reading equipment was updated only last week. Please tell a different lie.
Tell a different... You're a mechanical. You ain't got the foggiest idea whether I'm telling the truth or not.
Correct. Criminal. However, Constable Keene has decreed that this unit will remain here, questioning you every minute until you submit a confession. Error. Information on recent exchange lost. Restarting conversation. Greetings, criminal. This unit would implore you to confess to your crime of landing with an expired permit.
You know what? My permit was fake after all. Let me out of here.
Welcome back. Hopefully, law-abiding. And please speak clearly. Understood. This unit requires a moment to process this information. Information processed. Personal designation upgraded to acting constable. Thank you, law-abiding consumer. This unit concurs with your inference. Unapprehended killers are likely to continue killing. This unit has been programmed to adhere to board law. This unit is incapable of experiencing murderous or unlawful impulses. This unit has been programmed to recommend a wine to pair with your green purple berry wine.
What the? I was going to wash my hands, I swear.
Inspector, not a moment too soon. I've just finished my autopsy report. You know, that is a remarkably brazen invasion of privacy. I feel a strange combination of annoyed and flattered. Would you humor me? I really was looking forward to delivering my autopsy report. It's one of the perks of my profession. Poison in Bellamy's stomach. Toxic, but not enough to kill her. Spencer Woolrich also had a stomach ailment recently. No such thing as coincidences. Was that efficient enough for you? The thought occurred to me. I tested this hypothesis by vacating the contents of my stomach and testing for the presence of the same toxin. Slightly elevated levels of mercury and an alarming amount of blue food coloring. But other than that, no. I'm certain it wasn't, as you put it, just the hotel food. Oh, how curious. I do believe you're right. I wonder if this has something to do with the autopsy process. She was Halcyon Helen up until the moment I brought her to the operating table. But as soon as I cut her open, I stopped thinking of her as Halcyon Helen. It's almost as if she stopped being an icon and became a human being. I had a feeling you'd understand. What? Sorry, this mask. Sometimes I can't hear correctly. It almost sounded like you said Maria Keene was dead. Maria's been killed. I don't understand. How? Who did this? Helen's signature weapon. She brought it with her to the hotel. After we discovered Helen's body, Keene inspected her hotel room. The needler was gone. Rather harmless on its own. Common ingredient in medicine, but it can have a lethal application. Potassium chloride, when delivered in a cocktail of neurotoxin and paralytic, leads to cardiac arrest. Oh, merciful law. I'm so sorry, Maria. Maria and I were frequently at loggerheads. We disagreed on practically everything. It didn't help that I'm on Mr. Kincannon's payroll and Maria is a Rizzo's loyalist. Was a Rizzo's loyalist. Apologies, Inspector. I don't have the heart to continue talking at the moment. Thank you for your time. My apologies. I'm not in the mood to socialize.
The Grand Colonial Front Desk warmly welcomes you, Inspector. It's a pleasure to see you again. How may I be of assistance to you, Inspector? Oh, my. Well, that is certainly odd and alarmingly unacceptable. Allow me to check the service records. Ah, yes. Not to worry, Inspector. It was indeed cleaned for you. Except for the evidence, which is all of Helen's stuff. I'd love to, Inspector, but I don't really have the authority. Moreover, the guests were promised exclusivity. If I let you up there, I'll never hear the end of it. I wasn't trying to, you know. Now that I think about it, I can get you up to the guest floor. Not trying to cause any trouble, just doing my job. Let me just set you up with VIP guest floor access. Done. You can now come and go as you please.
Aha! Always so nice to hear you, Inspector. I'll get you to your floor on the double. If you see Black Hole Birdie, be sure to get an autograph for me. Just joking. I've already got one.
About time you arrived. I see you haven't dressed the way I asked you to, but I suppose that was expecting too much of a non-industry lout. Expect a complaint to management. Now, unless you'd like to waste more of my time, I suggest we begin rehearsing. Ready? You've fallen right into my trap, Captain. Oh, don't bother to fight back. You cannot hope to stop me from installing philosophism as the system's reigning ideology. Oh, you wouldn't harm an old man at the end of his wits, would you? I'm confused, disoriented. I may have even soiled myself. Wait, if you're armed, that must mean you're not with the hotel staff. Oh, no, this is curious indeed. Who are you, and how did you get in here? And yet you found your way to my humble hotel room. Why do I feel there's more of a reason for you to be here than you let on? I think I know, you cheeky little sprat. Now, what shall I sign first? Your weapon? Your wallet? Or perhaps something a little more personal? Undergarment signatures have been popular of late, or so I've heard. I'd be delighted. Oh, damn. My pen's out of ink. I'll just get you a portrait of my face as a souvenir. I'm sure I have the prints around here somewhere. By the by, how did you get in here? The only non-staff individual cleared to enter guest rooms is supposed to be the inspector for Bellamy's murder. Oh. Oh! Hello. Hi. Terribly sorry, Inspector. I didn't realize it was you. Understand that I am beyond willing to comply with your search for the fiend that did Bellamy in. You know, now that I look at you, you're the perfect reflection of me, back when I starred in the Marauder's Bane. The absolute picture of justice. Ask me anything at all. I might even give you a straight answer. Indeed. The agonizing bowel pain was most undignifying. While I've certainly had no shortage of inadequate hotel meals, this was most explicitly pronounced. I suspect poison. And who would be most likely to poison me but Chef Anwar? Oh, we've clashed almost non-stop about his slop preparation. He must have tainted my meal in retaliation. None that I can think of. I treat all hotel staff equally, and with the minimum level of respect that they deserve. Is that a jibe? Could you imagine the tabloid headlines? Spencer Woolrich, Aetherwave star, spotted in gastronomic distress. Oh, unseemly hardly describes the half of it. How alarming! Whoever targeted her was certainly targeting me. I can only thank my ironclad constitution that I'm standing here before you. Oh, that's very good to know. Perhaps the poisoner simply meant to incapacitate us both, disrupt the product launch. I couldn't say, Inspector. I'm merely an actor. Very well, then. I'm sure you're joking. Perhaps I'm not in my prime, but you've no doubt seen the name Spencer Woolrich on many a serial advertisement throughout your travels. That can't be. You must just not remember. Or perhaps you only recognize my characters, not my name. Did you ever see me in The Masked Marketeer? The Busker of Byzantium? What about episodes 13 and 190 of Princess of Hephaestus? And who could forget From Halcyon with Love? I was great in that movie. Even if I was starring beside a 2-ton bucket of bolts and a woman with no talent. I think that's a bit of a stretch, don't you? If you're going to come after me, I expect evidence, unless you want to be smacked with litigation. Smacked! Oh, have you now? Please do go on. Don't leave me in suspense. That, yes. Yes, I distinctly recall ordering an alcoholic beverage with my meal. This hotel is certainly bringing a new meaning to the phrase rotgut. Management shall receive the complaint to end all complaints. I'm quite used to being breathlessly watched. Certainly. But one quick question before we begin, if I may. How was it that Bellamy met her end? How awful. Whoever did this must have been quite heartless. I was meditating, of course. That's how I get into character. Respectfully, Inspector, it is rather counterproductive to commune with others while meditating. All actors have their methods, and this has been mine ever since I met that wonderful prophet of profitability. She taught me it for my role in The Unemployed Cometh. I had to lie face down on artificially heated pavement. The director wanted our suffering to be convincing. Needless to say, being able to leave my body helped to mitigate the pain, both during the 8-hour shoot and with the second-degree burns afterwards. I owe that woman much. Yeah, actually, only since I've been at the Colonial. The Unemployed Cometh was shot on site. That makes it, a few weeks. I cannot recommend her services enough. If you haven't been to see her yet, you really should. I'll answer whatever you wish. Bellamy has been my co-star throughout the autumn of my career. I should like to think I knew her. In fact, I cannot name a single role in the last 10 years that did not involve her in some way, unless you count the uncredited silent shopkeep on Melissa's Meteoroids. I'm not too proud to admit it. I couldn't get work on my own. Whether or not I wanted to accept it, Bellamy had captured the eye of the colony. People kept talking about the charisma we had on screen, but I felt more chemistry with certain teacup canids than with her. As you may have been able to conclude, I wasn't terribly enamored with Bellamy, but that doesn't mean I'd kill her. Oh, come now, Inspector. What do you take me for? I'm an old man. I neither have the time nor the willpower to kill people for fun. Besides, I have my reputation to think of. I suppose that is enough on that grim subject.
Initiating banter protocol. Now simulating familiar and welcoming demeanor. Greetings, theater aficionado and/or dumbstruck fan. You are standing in the vicinity of Burbage 3001, the latest. Burbage 3001's programming is frequently upgraded to adhere to board-certified standards. The most recent banter protocol exhausted. Burbage 3000. Now running this unit. Burbage 3000. This unit.
Aha! To the lobby we go!
Yes? Are you here for the double rack of smoked sprat? Well, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but you'll have to wait. Oh, don't give me that look. Let me see if I can pencil you in for later. Actually, what am I saying? I can't do that. I'm booked for the next month. You'll have to make a reservation. Crime or no crime, I must keep my head on my work. One does not simply become the head chef in all of Eridanos by fretting over irrelevant happenings. Well, it didn't happen in my kitchen. Who exactly are you anyhow? What is it you want? You're the inspector? Here? Why? I mean, you may ask me whatever you want. I have nothing to hide. Of course I did. I would never allow anyone else to touch the meals of so important a guest. Oh my law, this is the end, isn't it? My mother always warned me that the culinary world was too dangerous, but I didn't heed her warnings. Okay, I wasn't the one who did it, but I might have been mistaken when I said I was constantly watching Helen's food. Spencer Woolrich and Bellhop Owens were underfoot in the kitchen as I was preparing Helen's meal. Either one of them could have tampered with the food when I was fetching ingredients. Well, it's a breach of professionalism, of course. Why else would I worry about it? What? Truly? That's an alarming business oversight. Instead of volatile chemicals, the corporations should put barbiturates in everything. Everyone likes barbiturates. But I don't believe that was a risk with Helen's meal. I was, up to something else. I may have taken some time to engage in a teensy bit of recreational drinking, and consequently, I may have been somewhat less than coherent after preparing Helen's meal. I understand your reluctance, but... Oh, I just remembered. The kitchen security camera. It'll prove I'm telling the truth about everything. Constable Keene has access to the security footage in her office at the spaceport. If you visit her, you can figure out what truly happened with Helen's meal. Yes, but not specifically. Owens often procures exotic ingredients from the creatures at the Wilderness Exploitation Reserve. Our guests can be rather... particular. Let's not talk about the incident with the Raptidon pheromone glands. It's always hard to say when Owens might be back. If I were you, I'd make a trek to the reserve myself. Otherwise, who knows how long you'll have to wait. Mr. Woolrich often finds the hotel's meals wanting. He seems to enjoy complaining in person. While I could appreciate someone with a discerning palate for once, I believe that Mr. Woolrich simply enjoys the attention he gets from us. Though don't tell him I said as much. If you wish to speak with him, Mr. Woolrich can most likely be found in his suite on the VIP guest floor. He's usually there if he's not poking around here. Thank you for your understanding, Inspector. I'm sure you'll find the true culprit before long.